Hello, library patrons. We had some really great nonfiction on the shelf today, and I'm going to read some excerpts and just go over some things. Uh, and so let's get started. So, this is the only one of these books that I'm going to go over that I've actually read. This is A Distant Mirror by Barbara Tuchman, The Calamitous 14th Century. You can find it over in 944.025. And Barbara Tuchman has won the Pulitzer, is a pretty amazing writer. And what struck me about this book that might grab you is that not only is it a book of medieval history, but I feel like when I read it, I said to myself, oh, this is what George R. R. Martin, I mean, he probably read about the War of the Roses. Like, that was definitely inspiration for Game of Thrones. But I feel like there's a lot of Game of Thronesy stuff in this too. A lot of royal hostages and wars gone wrong and all that kinds of stuff. So check it out if you are into fantasy medieval world building, if you just like history, if you just like good writing. It's really Barbara Tuchman writes really fun books. We have a ton of brand new, shiny Barbara Tuchman. Not brand new as in it just came out, but brand new as in we have freshened up the collection. So if you're interested in reading about some history in a really fun way, almost like it's nonfiction with almost like a fiction storytelling. These are great. We're having much more fun from Cornell University Press. You've heard of that joint, by Judith A. Peraino and Tom McEnaney, and this you can find over in 781.660973. Wow, the catalogers really went hog wild on that one. Good for you folks. And yeah, what struck me about this is it's got a lot of pictures. Like, it's got great. There's not just pictures, but there's a lot of fun documentation of old flyers from punk shows from all over, and I'm just glad someone has kept that stuff. And of course, just some great pictures. Yeah, check it out. Punk rock history. What next? Transanything by Ever Jones, who is a professor of creative writing at the University of Washington, Tacoma. And you're going to find this over in 306.72768. I'm sorry. And I don't know how to describe this. It's really in Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents, Isabel Wilkerson metaphorically compares America to an old house on a piece of land. The deeper you look inside a house's bones, the deeper and more complex its history. Wilkerson encourages you not to ignore the basement, to enter the basement and not avoid what you would prefer not to see. She describes the land the house is on, so beautiful on the exterior, but underneath the gleam is unstable loam and rock, heaving and contracting over generations. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful. I kept finding things I wanted to read out loud. I feel like I could just read this thing out loud all over the place. So check it out if you just want to read something fascinating. Almost like poetic essays. This one came up in defense of Dabbling, The Brilliance of Being a Total Amateur by Karen Walrond. This you can find over in 790.1 Walrond. And what struck me about this, I was just talking to a friend who was visiting this weekend about pursuing lots of different endeavors and not necessarily being good at anything or great at anything, but like seeking to be good, and the pursuit is part of it, right? The process is part of it. And a lot of the discussion of AI, what I see in the discussion of why it's good is it cuts out that process. It cuts out the journey sometimes for the person who is making the thing that AI could help us make easier. And so I want to celebrate the journey a little bit. In the book, Walrond says, honestly, I blame hustle culture, the societal expectation to be productive at all costs. From social media to self-help books, the advice is ubiquitous. The acquisition of money, power, and mastery is the only way to live a successful life. Unsurprisingly, this has deleterious effects. Rainsford Stauffer, a young journalist and the author of the book An Ordinary Age, Finding Your Way in a World That Expects Exceptional, laments that striving to be extraordinary, being exceptional, and being special are the same as being capable, being fulfilled, and being happy. This pressure makes it almost impossible to do things simply for enjoyment's sake. It's fun to be bad at things. It's fun to go try things. So I love this, and I thought it caught my eye because of that. By Gloria J. Browne-Marshall, A Protest History of the United States. 303 point, my goodness, 4840973. My goodness. Really fine sorting this cataloging. In the chapter Labor Rights and Union Strikes, John D. Rockefeller, founder of the Standard Oil Company, was the richest man in the world and reviled for the blatant ways he monopolized the market. Whether it was Rockefeller's oil holdings or Andrew Carnegie's control of the steel industry or Cornelius Vanderbilt's monopoly of the railroads, the New World barons amassed fortunes and control over industries essential to everyday American life. Immense wealth brought tremendous political influence and protection. I don't know. Think that has anything to do with what's going on right now in the world? Maybe give a read. Protest History of the United States. Speaking of what's going on in the world, we grabbed a bunch of books on Iran, including Iran Modern History by Abbas Amanat and Abbas Amanat. And when the war in Iran started, I grabbed a bunch of books on the history of Iran. We already had some, but I thought we could use more. Here's an interesting bit. The U.S. government's aid program, in reality, was a fraction of what U.S. oil companies collected from investing in Iranian oil, and a negligible expense compared to the benefit of keeping Iran as a strategic ally in the Cold War. I don't think that was the one I wanted to read. The massive injection of U.S. financial support in the 50s and 60s, as well as military assistance, training, and advising, further boosted Pahlavi's prestige. Up to the mid-60s, tens of millions of U.S. dollars, originally promised but never delivered to Mossadegh's cash-strapped government, poured into Iranian coffers as non-obligatory aid, or were funneled through the Point 4 program's health and agricultural development projects, or through the purchase of military hardware, infrastructure development loans, or building dams and a power grid. Direct investment in Iranian industry and major construction projects won by American firms. Our country has history there, you think? So it might be worth understanding that history so you can understand the present. Blah, blah, blah. History repeats itself. We have lots of wonderful books. They're all going on the shelves. They're getting there. The stat that floors me is that my colleagues in tech services and the selectors from all over the library have seen to the ordering, have contributed to the ordering of over 15,000 books in the first 6 months of 2026. That is more than we usually order in a year. So Lots of new books. Come take a look. Don't just stay in the new shelves. Go into the stacks. Wander around. Peruse. Find something by chance. And if you want something specific, ask us. One of my colleagues at any one of the desks, we can help you find it. We'll see you soon.